I think for the Modi government, the Achilles heel has been probably agrarian unrest. And probably the initially for factors not for which it could not be blamed, like there was a crash in global commodity prices. But probably in the last 1 year, there's been an additional factor, which is basically higher cost, higher cost of diesel, fertilizers, and pesticides, and which has been largely linked to, again, global prices going up and plus the rupees weakening. So both together, so the farmers have been squeezed from both ends. They just expected that he will deliver, so probably over promising and under delivering, probably that has been also a factor behind this whole thing. So you can say that agrarian unrest has been this government's weakest point, and probably it woke up very late. And what all these protests have been doing, for the last 1 year, it has basically added up to some kind of a coherent national narrative, of agrarian unrest. And now it has been unlucky as well. Like right now you have drought, you have your very bad drought in Marathwada, in Nashik, in Sholapur, and also in Gujarat, especially the Saurashtra and Kutch and northern Gujarat. So many things together are coming, together. So it's sort of adding up to some kind of a perfect storm, See, the demands are basically around crop prices, on remunerative crop prices, and there's also been a collapse of trade, because much of the produce trade was in the transactions were largely in cash, so with cash disappearing from the mandis, that has actually made things worse for the farmer, and earlier farmers were also getting payments in cash, and then having to go to the banks, standing in queues. So I think there have been too many things which have been going, wrong for the farmers. Even non-farming activities. See, a farming household's income today is fairly diversified. Maybe about 50% comes from farming per se, but the remaining 50% is from outside the farm. At one time there was a lot of scope for going to the cities and finding jobs. And if you look at the period from say 2003 to around 2013, there was a boom in construction, in manufacturing. Things like textiles and these kind of things. There was a lot of employment. There was also employment in services. Things like whether you are say a security guard or so there were a lot of options outside of agriculture. Whereas even those are today disappearing. So what you're seeing now is probably more distress migration. It's a sort of the push from the countryside rather than the pull from the cities and from the urban centers.